If you're a green card holder living in the United States, this video is one you absolutely can't afford to miss. Big changes are on the horizon starting October 2025, and USCIS has just announced updates that could directly impact your rights, your responsibilities, and even your path toward U.S. citizenship. Now, I know immigration news can sometimes feel overwhelming, policies shift, forms get updated, deadlines come and go, but I promise to break everything down in a simple, clear, and conversational way. So by the end of this video, you'll feel confident and prepared. Let me ask you this. Have you ever worried that you might miss an important update from USCIS and find yourself scrambling at the last minute? Or maybe you've heard rumors in your community and you're not sure what's real and what's just noise. Well, that's exactly why I'm here today, to cut through the confusion and share exactly what these October 2025 changes mean for you as a green card holder. Some of these updates might work in your favor, offering new opportunities you may not have considered before. Others might mean you'll need to be extra careful about deadlines, renewals, or the way you maintain your permanent resident status. Either way, staying informed is the best way to protect the life you've built here in the US and keep moving forward on your immigration journey. Think of this video as your personal guide. I've done the digging, I've checked the sources, and now I'm bringing you the most important details in plain language so you can relax and focus on what matters: securing your future. So, stick with me until the end, because every point I'm about to cover could make a real difference for you or someone you love. And if you find this helpful, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button right now. It not only supports this channel, but it also helps more green card holders like you stay updated and informed. All right, let's dive right into what these October 2025 USCIS updates really mean, because I know you're here for clarity, not confusion. The first thing you need to understand is that these changes are not random. USCIS doesn't just wake up one morning and decide to shake things up. Usually, when we see big updates like this, it's tied to new policy directions, shifts in immigration trends, or sometimes even backlogs that USCIS is trying to fix. And for green card holders like you, even the smallest shift can have ripple effects on your daily life, your travel plans, or your long-term path to citizenship. Now, one of the most significant updates we're seeing this October is related to processing times. I know the word processing times probably makes you roll your eyes because we've all heard that story before: forms that take forever, waiting months, sometimes even years, for a decision. But here's the thing: USCIS has made a commitment to reduce delays for certain categories, and green card holders are finally being pulled into that effort. What does that mean for you? It means that if you've been thinking about renewing your green card, filing for naturalization, or sponsoring a family member, the timeline may actually shift in your favor. Shorter wait times, more predictable outcomes, that's the goal. And I don't know about you, but I think we can all agree that's a change worth celebrating. But, of course, not every update is sunshine and roses. Alongside the promise of faster processing, USCIS is also tightening up requirements in some areas. For example, they're paying closer attention to the way green card holders maintain their permanent resident status. That means travel outside the United States, the length of time you're spending abroad, and whether or not you're showing consistent ties to the US. All of that matters even more now. I've heard from so many people who didn't realize that extended trips overseas could raise red flags until it was too late. And with these October 2025 changes, USCIS is signaling that they're going to be even stricter about it. Now, I don't say this to scare you, but to empower you, because when you know the rules, you can play the game smarter. If you're planning to visit family abroad, or maybe you've been considering spending a few months outside the US, this is the perfect time to double-check how that lines up with the new USCIS expectations. You don't want to risk putting your status in jeopardy over something that could have been avoided with just a little bit of planning. Another important shift we need to talk about is fees. I know, nobody likes that word, But let's be real, immigration processes are expensive, and USCIS has been pretty open about adjusting fees to cover operational costs. Starting in October, some of the application fees for green card holders are expected to increase. It may not be a massive jump across the board, but if you're thinking about filing anything soon, whether it's a renewal, a replacement, or even an N400 application for citizenship, you might save yourself some money by filing sooner rather than later. Timing matters here, and sometimes even a small increase can feel like a heavy weight, especially for families who are balancing a lot of other expenses. But here's the part I really want you to hear. Not all changes are just about cost or compliance. Some are actually designed to make your life easier. USCIS is introducing new online tools and digital platforms to help streamline the application process. Think about how much stress that could save you: less paper, fewer trips to the post office, fewer chances for forms to get lost in the mail. If you've ever sat staring at a stack of paperwork feeling completely overwhelmed, these updates could be a real relief. Of course, it might take a little getting used to because not everyone is comfortable with technology, but the intention here is to give you faster, clearer communication with USCIS. And honestly, who doesn't want that? Now, as I'm sharing all of this with you, I want you to think about your own situation. Where are you right now in your immigration journey? Are you holding your green card and just trying to maintain it? Are you already preparing for citizenship? Or maybe you're somewhere in between, weighing your options. These October updates touch each stage differently, and the more you understand how they apply to your specific path, the better prepared you'll be. Let me also say this. It's completely normal to feel a little anxious when you hear about big changes from USCIS. That's the human side of this journey. We all want security, we all want certainty, and immigration rules don't always make that easy. But the good news is, you're not alone in this. By tuning into this video, by staying informed, you're already taking steps that so many others miss. And that right there, that's how you protect your future in this country. Something else I really want to emphasize is how these updates could impact families. For many green card holders, it's not just about you, it's about your spouse, your kids, or even relatives abroad that you're hoping to bring to the U.S. Changes to processing times and stricter status requirements can have a domino effect. If you're in the middle of sponsoring someone or planning to do so, you'll want to stay extra alert to what October brings. It could mean faster reunions in some cases, but it could also mean new hurdles to clear. And trust me, you don't want to be caught off guard when family is involved. Now, let's talk about naturalization for a moment, because this is where I think many of you will feel the biggest impact. Applying for U.S. citizenship is a huge step, and it's something that a lot of green card holders dream of. With these October 2025 updates, USCIS is expected to put a stronger emphasis on applicants demonstrating continuous residence and good moral character. That's always been part of the process, but the bar is being raised a little higher now. So if you're planning to apply soon, make sure your paperwork, your history, and your record are all in good order. This is not the time to leave things up to chance. I know this might sound like a lot to take in, but here's how I look at it. Every change, even the ones that seem strict or inconvenient, is also an opportunity. An opportunity to double-check your status, to get your applications in order, to prepare yourself for the next chapter. And if you approach it with that mindset, you'll find that these updates don't have to be scary. They can actually give you more control over your immigration journey. And listen, while we're talking about preparation, let me gently remind you of something important. Don't wait until the last minute. I've seen too many people delay renewing their green card or put off their citizenship application, thinking they'll get to it someday, only to be hit with a deadline or a change that made everything more stressful. If October 2025 is bringing adjustments, this is your wake-up call to act now. Trust me, future you will thank you. By the way, if you're finding this conversation helpful so far, do me a quick favor, just tap that like button below. It lets me know that you appreciate content like this, and it helps more green card holders. just like you, find this information before it's too late. Seriously, it only takes a second, but it makes a huge difference for this community we're building here. So, let's take a breath for a moment. I know I've covered a lot already: processing times, stricter status rules, fees, new digital tools, family impacts, and naturalization. But all of this boils down to one simple truth: October 2025 is a turning point. If you're paying attention and preparing, you'll be in a strong position to move forward. If you ignore it or assume nothing will change, you could end up with headaches you don't need. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. There are resources, there are communities, and there are people, like me, who are dedicated to making sure you stay informed and supported. At the end of the day, having a green card isn't just about a piece of plastic in your wallet. It's about the life you're building here, the opportunities you're creating for yourself and your family, and the future you're dreaming of. These USCIS updates are simply the rules of the road. And when you know the rules, you can drive with confidence. So as we continue, I want you to keep this in mind. Every challenge in the immigration process can also be a chance to grow stronger, smarter, and more resilient. October 2025 isn't something to fear, it's something to prepare for. And with preparation comes peace of mind.